we've been capturing from a digital social media standpoint impressions, right? And there's really no measurements in store that can give you those types of indicators until now, until Retail Aware.
Hey, Ansel Lee here. Hey, welcome to another edition of Ansel Lee Live. And hey, I also have my co-host here today, Jeffrey Beecher, coming to us from. Did you just get out of bed, or what you got on there, Jeff?
Just woke up. I'm in my jammies, so yeah, it's slept in a little. It's noon. It's 1 o'clock here, so yeah, it's about time for me to get going.
No, tell us where you've been in surgery, haven't you?
Yeah, I'm in just outside of Charleston, South Carolina. So yeah, popping in and out of cases. So everybody's at lunch right now. So I'm happy to be joined with you all today.
Well, thank you, and to our guests today from the again, we're doing a series for the Fuel Accelerator and highlighting all the participants in the cohort, this fall cohort for AI solutions. And hey, today we welcomed Retail Aware, the main principles of that. And I've said there's little Arkansas here, so I've got Brent Blakely and Tammy Catron.
Perfect. Yep.
Okay. All right. Well, hey, great to have you guys on today. And man, I'm very excited about what you guys are doing. And so, hey, tell us just a little bit about yourselves, Brent and Tammy. One of you guys go first.
Thank you. Go ahead, Tammy.
Well, just a little bit about myself. I had an opportunity as a founder and also as a consultant to work with emerging brands. And that is actually how I came across Retail Aware. Is I was one of their first customers, and I was looking for the opportunity to be able to help a brand better understand what was happening in store. Ironically, when I went out there to the market, that was a big black hole. And I didn't know how to be able to understand measurements and how people were interacting with things. So that's how I actually, I started working part-time for Retail Aware. I was one of their folks, one of their first customers, and that's how I came over to Retail Aware.
Oh, well, outstanding. Thank you, Tammy. Brent?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I joined Retail Aware about 2 years ago now. And before that, I spent 10 years cutting my teeth in big data. So I worked for Info Group, Info USA, Data Axle, whatever they're calling themselves now. In particular, Product Sales Genie was their first SaaS-based product, and I was kind of the face of that and an early employee of that group. And we grew. Spent about 10 years there, ended up on their enterprise side, working with retail brands, providing marketing agency type solutions, making sure customers were happy and continued to grow and cultivate those existing relationships. After 10 years, I was kind of burnt out. I sold all my stuff. I bought a sailboat, sailed the Caribbean for about 5 years before coming back. And when I did, one of my friends kind of introduced me to Keith Fix, our founder and CEO at Retail Aware. And we started the conversation, and he was doing some really interesting, cool things, but he wasn't prepared to bring on a person yet. So once they closed the round of funding, about a year later, we'd stayed in contact. He asked me to come on. That was the end of October 2 years ago. And he wanted to focus on people, processes, and product. And so that's what I've done since. And we've had a lot of opportunities, a lot of good times, a lot of ups and downs. And the products where we want it to be, and opportunities like Fuel and Bentonville and talking to your customer base is just a super exciting opportunity for us. And I'm happy to be here.
Awesome. Now tell us what your product Retail Aware does.
Yeah, I'll take this one if you don't mind, Tammy. So
Sure.
this is our proprietary cameraless sensor. This will sit on shelves and can monitor in-store traffic. It can monitor how a display performs, and we can even track product velocity down to the SKU level. We do this for both brands and retailers, and it helps to keep product on the shelf for customers at the end of the day.
Chad?
Yeah, so it's very fascinating to me. I must admit, it's I mean, this is not my expertise, but I have done some research about what you're doing, and I think what your product enhances is really tracking traffic and impressions, and you're garnering information that otherwise wouldn't be there. So how does that really work in when you couple that with digital data? What are we doing here? And that's probably really cool. I'd love for you to expand that.
Yeah, I think the most exciting thing we're able to provide to these brands or the retailers is give them that there's a ton of data out there, right? And people compile all kinds of data, they aggregate it, and they try to find something that's actionable that they can take advantage of to really drive revenue or retention, some kind of goal that's aligned. Were we able to show them a very actionable piece of data? If you don't have product on the shelf, you don't have sales, right? And so the second we can tell them the product velocity or when product's low or product's out of stock, we can send a notification out and create something immediately actionable in real time that they can take advantage of and really solve some of those opportunity costs for not having product in stock.
So
Yeah.
this would be of interest, I would imagine, to both people who create displays. I would imagine that's going to be your focus, and then of course the retailers themselves. You happen to be in the home of Walmart right now. I'm sure that this interview right here is going to open the door there. Wouldn't that be nice?
Yeah, that would be great. And to your point, yes, from a display perspective, if you can think of it this way, we've been capturing from a digital social media standpoint impressions, right? And they refer to as clicks and those types of things, and that's become commonplace. And there's really no measurements in store that can give you those types of indicators until now, until retail aware, where we've had the ability to be able to bring in impressions in store. Well, who's around that product, who's around that display, as well as dwell time. And dwell time, if you think about it, is one of the leading indicators to the path to purchase for somebody. We can get them to dwell a little longer and have that opportunity for to be able to measure that. And then you think of all the people gathering the data on the digital side and saying, hey, wait a minute here. Now I've got data that I can actually compare in store. It used to be a guessing game from the digital to what happens to the in-store. And the only indicator was point of sale, which we all know, frankly, is the report card after and not what's happening during.
Right.
Interesting. And the device, what does that actually transmit? Is it demographics? And yes, to talk about what we're really getting there when I'm in front of that device, what happens?
Well, there's a little bit of secret sauce there, but at the base level, we're telling you how many people walk by a particular display. There's a little big piece of data that comes through that we're able to characterize into human behavior, and so that's how we get those impressions. That's how we get that dwell time. And I think maybe the coolest use case that I've seen so far was one of the world's largest carbonated beverage companies. They wanted to identify. They wanted to know, is it worth owning the end caps in the store? And also, where are people buying from in the store? We have a barcode, we have a UPC, we have point of sale data, but where are people grabbing product from? Is it the cold box? Is it the front end merchandise? Is it the warm shelf? Is it the end caps? Or any numerous displays they may have in the store, right? And so being able to tell these brands where people are walking by, where they are in the store, what time of day they're doing this on a consistent basis, and you all know about machine learning and AI. The more data we can feed this model, this algorithm, the smarter we become, the smarter they become with merchandising and mixtures and where product sits in stores for consumers.
Well, that was going to be my next question, because you're coming from a cohort in Fuel, the accelerator, which your colleagues there are all AI. So this is AI. So you're when you get your product in the store or with a company that maybe a display company, you just keep learning more and more and more and more, and it's just to use the term, it's fueling itself.
Absolutely.
No pun there, Jeff.
No pun intended at all.
There was a pun intended. So.
Yeah. So, hey, real quick, how's your experience been at talking about Fuel? Thank you. How's your experience? Tell us about your experience at the Fuel Accelerator.
Yeah, why don't you go ahead, Tammy?
Absolutely. Wow. Where do I start? The opportunity to be able to connect with people in the same space, number one, and be able to share with other cohorts and be able to talk about their business and learn things from their business and vice versa has been fantastic. And also the ability to be able to connect with the folks that are down here in the Fuel building, where I sit today, and just being able to talk to them, pick their brains, get connected with folks that are mentoring the program too. Huge opportunities. Really enjoyed the experience.
Thank you.
Yeah, and I would just echo the same sentiment. Tom Douglas is absolutely amazing. He's kind of the ringleader and provides a lot of content and feedback. In particular, when you start looking at a retailer like Walmart, like how do you even start to tackle that? Well, nearly 5,000 locations, and finding your way in is so difficult. And he's really able to share some experiences with us that are invaluable. And then I'm going to go to two of the people that are really kind of host and keep things together. That's Grace and Darian there. For one, they're just fantastic people. Grace is out of Wichita. Darian actually spent time in Omaha, Creighton University, so we were able to connect on a couple different levels. But the connections that he's been able to bring and the conversations I've been able to have with Grace, there's things moving. And I tell you, we only go down there during the week. And so I've been there a total of 6 days in Bentonville. And there is just enormous traction and movement based upon those. And then I'm being able to join some of the sessions live as well. But that doesn't, and then there's this other group of individuals that are there in the same cohort. And they're just so smart and so willing to share their stories and their experiences, that the peer-to-peer learning that takes place inside of that room, man, if you could just bottle that up and share it, kind of like you're doing on your show, and watch these whole series, there's just an immense amount of knowledge to be gained from that group, and that's in those sessions.
Oh, that's so awesome, and thank you guys. And hey, and how can folks find out more about Retail Aware? And we have a link to send them to.
Yes, absolutely. You can go to retailaware.com, and right on Retail Aware, there's an area you can click in and be able to either jump on and ask for additional information from us. And also, I believe there's a link that we'll be sharing too for our guest portal. We would encourage folks to jump on the guest portal, or you can do it through our website as well.
Yes, and yeah, thank you, Tammy. We posted a link to the portal down below our live event here, so you can just click on that.
Yeah, it's fantastic. You can see what the impression data looks like so the store traffic data, impression data, dwell time, and the SKU level data as well. We have a sample merchandise coolers, sample product displays set up. You can actually see the velocity, what somebody would be looking at real time from their own dashboard. It's portal.retailaware.com, and then you can click to continue as a guest, and we'll actually receive your information. We can reach out to you that way.
Very
awesome.
good.
Now, folks can reach out directly to you on LinkedIn here and direct message you if you have a question.
100%. I'm happy to talk to anyone.
All right.
Me too.
Well,
I'd just like to say, as a final parting shot here, I look forward to getting scanned by your device. I'll be in the beverage section.
The gold beverage section, Jeff, after you get off work.
You'll be garnering that information. So
Yeah.
I like to be the first one. So
Well, we'll make sure there's product on the shelf for you.
Yes.
thank God.
Oh
It's great to
man.
meet you. Good luck to you all. It's a fascinating company, and I wish you well.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I feel that. I appreciate you opening up your audience to us. This is a
Yes.
fantastic forum. So thank you very much.